Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Woo, man. It's been an intense little week and a half for me. Nephew born, happy, having fun with him, helping out my sister-in-law and my brother time to time with the new awesome little dude. He's awesome. Having fun with him. Then also, dealing with the new job. It's one of those things of you have these timings in your head and for like your previous employment, and it's like, hold up, wait. No, I need to do this and I need to do these other things and learn everything all over, again, about protocols and this, that, and the other. So I did take some TSA training that's equivalent of like scanning, the packages with the x-rays and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was really cool. But it was a long program. I probably end up having to take it again. I did pretty good taking the test. So, also, hey, thank you for everybody that left a comment on the Indiana Law show. If you didn't watch it, great. That's cool. If you're still around after that, hey, cool. Thanks again. Don't necessarily agree with all the comments, but hey, at least you're able to dialogue. Also, there was one comment that got flagged as spam. It just took me a while to notice that it wasn't spam. So, all right, let's get into today's show. Today's show, we're going to be talking about, I was about to say Avengers versus X-Men, but it's Avengers Age of Ultron. And we're going to be looking at that. It's a little bit smaller, so we'll just look at everything and just sort of break things down. Do I like the fact that we have, again, more Target exclusives? No. But 'tis the way it goes, you know what I mean? All right, let's get started. We're going to look at 01 Iron Man. 250 points is quite hefty to pay for 7 clicks. But you're getting his first trait, Avengers Assemble. When Iron Man hits one or more characters with an attack and actions resolved, the opposing player chooses. You place a friendly Age of Ultron Iron Legion from outside the game into your starting area, or modify their defense value of your friendly characters by +1 until your next turn. So you either are able to get backup, or you're able to get some very nice temporary stat bumps. The stat bumps, I can see that being a lot more useful. The only way that I could see Iron Man hitting multiple targets is if he was able to get like energy explosion somehow, which I think now WizKids is sort of recognizing, like, yeah, it's possible for characters to hit multiple characters. So they're just like saying, hey, doesn't matter if you hit one or a bunch, this effect only goes off. Also, I wonder how friendly mind control will come into play. Would that stack the ability? So that's something else. Then he has the House Party Protocol. Sir, give Iron Man a power action if there are less than 4 friendly undefeated characters named Iron Legion. I don't even know what freaking undefeated characters means. Because technically it's KO'd. I don't know what they're going for here. If you do place a, AAOU number 2 Iron Legion in your starting area from outside the game. Technically, the way that they're making it sound, you can have like 100, and as long as 4 weren't KO'd, you're good. Which I really don't. This isn't clear. They're using new wording. And that's That's weird. It would have been better if they just said, hey, if you have created 4 or brought 4 from your sidelines, then, you know, that's it. You can't bring in more in the game. But they have this whole 4 friendly, undefeated characters named Iron Legion. It doesn't even say on the map. So this is weird. At the end of his dial, you get the clean slate protocol, which is give Iron Man a free action and choose a friendly character named Iron Legion with 1 or less action tokens if an opposing character is within 3 squares of the chosen character. After actions resolved, the chosen character may immediately use Pulse Wave as a free action with a locked damage value of 2. After actions resolved, KO the chosen figure. So, technically, if you have a couple of Iron Legions out, you could set them to suicide themselves, which could be pretty cool. And you're giving your opponent like free points, but having a free Pulse Wave, you know, for a character, that could be pretty good, because if they have like no action tokens, they can take an action, and then you could just blow them up. So definitely you're looking at White Lantern Battery for using this, or if you're running a 250 points, you're looking at the what is it? Yeah, the Sinestro Core Battery, but I really don't think it's going to help you too much. I do see a lot of Ophidian use, though, just so that he has multiple chances of getting that splash damage with the energy explosion with his high attack values. That or what's his name? Black Hand. The 185 version of this Iron Man, unless you really, really, really want to summon in those drone dudes, I really don't think it's worth it. Number 2, Iron Legion. Iron Legion starts off with, it's 50 points, so these things are pretty good for 50 points. You start off with running shot, 5 range is not that great, but it's not horrible either. 17 defense and enhancement, and you get available backup when Iron Legion is placed in your starting area from outside the game. Roll a d6 on a result of 1 through 3. Click it to its blue starting line. On a 4 through 6, click it to its yellow starting line. So you have the ability, when they're summoned in, they are weaker, but if you just straight up play them, you get something that's a little bit better. I see the advantage. Also, I can see the advantage of just being in this, well, seeing the situation where you're not guaranteed to get what you want. If you're running a ranged team, you're not guaranteed to get enhancement. If you're running a melee team, you're not guaranteed to get empowered. But other than that, the standard dial is pretty good. All right, let's go on to Captain America. Rebounding shield, improved targeting, ignores characters, may make ranged combat attacks against any opposing character within range and line of fire, even if that character is in an adjacent square. So technically he sort of has sharpshooter. And he could I think he could shoot out of adjacency. I think he'd be awesome for energy explosion just because he has triple targets. I really think it would be, now this is a little silly, Cap, sniper rifle, Ophidian, running shot, energy explosion, triple target, stars and stripes. It's like shield slash. So definitely, that's Marvel vs. Capcom reference. Anyway, Avengers assemble when Captain America hits 1 or more characters with an attack and actions resolve the opponent player chooses. Captain America may modify the damage value of a friendly character by +1 this turn, or all opposing characters modify their attack values by -1. Now, definitely, this is worth it as a opening strike. it could be really, really strong and force your opponents to say, hey, either the rest of my team gets better or you get worse. It's up to you. And most of the time, your opponent would let you get better because unless they have crazy amounts of perplex or stat mods, most teams don't want to take the -1 on attack unless they're going to be resting that turn anyway. His enemies fear him is his special power, and it says Captain America can use leadership. When he does and succeeds, he may also either place an action token on a higher point opposing character within range, or he may place an action token on each lower point opposing character within range. Placing this action token doesn't deal pushing damage. So this is actually pretty strong. It's a lot of control. Definitely, if you're able to get a sniper rifle on him, this is a really strong effect. Playing him at the 80 points, gosh, it just looks like the more viable solution than the 125. 125 is if you're going full on light 'em up mode. Like, you know that you can get the energy explosion off and get a sniper rifle on them. Like, those two things in particular, if you know you can do that, then definitely be looking at this Captain America at 125. Other than that, I really have to say this Captain America is a beast at 80 points and probably one of the better Captain Americas that you can play. All right, let's move on to test subject. It's another one of those like, hey guys, you might get this or you might get that dial. 30 points. You can be put on any team and it can still be a theme team. I really like that. Oh yeah, if it has weight, if it has Strucker, Red Skull, or Nick Fury. Anyway, but these experiments are yielding interesting results. When the test subject is first placed on the map, roll D6 and click the character to the indicated starting line. 1 through 2 red, 3 through 4 blue, 5 through 6 yellow. Really, most of the time, you really want to roll a 1 through 2. A 3 and 4 is not bad, but it's not great either. And 5 through 6 really has no use. Now note, like, the third click of all of them, they get stealth and prob. So that part isn't bad, but if you're really hankering for prob, there's other characters that you can get. Overall, I don't see these as that great of an investment. Next up is Thor for Asgard. Yeah, bad joke there. You're looking at running shot, energy explosion, invincible. So that part is pretty great. Definitely with 2 target, energy explosion, 11 attack, energy explosion, 5 damage. 200 points is a little bit steep investment. Only 8 clicks deep is a little shallow for 200 points. All that invincible is nice, but again, we're in a Mother May I meta, so you can't depend on it. Then going from that into running shot pulse wave, and it's just a lot of good solid stats. Is it the best Thor ever? No, but it's a real solid Thor. Like, you really can't hate on it too much. Then you get Avengers Assemble. When Thor hits one or more characters with an attack and actions resolved, the opposing player chooses. Opposing characters modify their damage values by -1 until your next turn. Opposing characters can't make ranged combat attacks until your next turn. In that case, most teams are going to pick lowering their damage values, which does help Thor survive a lot better, considering he has invincible. So, I really do like that. The other element as well is if you're able to get a friendly mind control off on him, oh gosh, just to make your opponent eat eat a high amount of damage, and then possibly say, hey guys, are you going to lower your attack again? Because you could potentially make your opponent have a -2. Now, if they did pick can't make range combat attacks, then yeah, they're just going to pick that again. So it's not as good. So then you have Mjolnir to carry me. When Thor has one or more action tokens, he can use energy shield deflection. That just adds to his survivability. So technically, he might be the best Thor in the game. Yeah, he really doesn't need much, if anything at all. And the only thing I could see that would really benefit him is regen. So either Angrier's Hammer or... No, wait. He doesn't have willpower. So Null's Hammer. There you go. That's his weakness. Doesn't have the willpower. But yeah, Null's Hammer, and he's pretty much almost an auto-hit land then. The 2-point values, the 200 point... and I think it's like 150. Yeah, it's 150. Both are great. I just don't see the 150 as worth it. Unless you're going to play some shenanigans with the entities. So, yeah. Next up is Hydra Soldier. Minion, Hail Hydra. When a friendly character with the Hydra keyword and a higher point values within 8 squares, Hydra Soldier can use charge. When that character uses leadership and succeeds, remove an action token from all characters named Hydra Soldier within that character's range and line of fire, unless one has already removed this turn from that character. Unless one has already been removed from this, have been removed this turn from that character from this effect. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I do like the fact that you are able to mobilize a bunch more characters with this ability, but overall, it allows you to reset and get a whole bunch of guys into position. That's really how I see it. And if you're not already utilizing the Hydra guys properly, it doesn't just flat out help you with any old team. You have to be playing a Hydra team. So not bad if you're going to be focusing around Hydra. But I will say this, the movie set Hydra soldiers have been really, really awesome. All right, next up is Ultron Sentry. And it has hidden programming. Once per game, when a friendly character named Ultron Sentry is KO'd by an opposing character, you may roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and increase the result by 1 for each character named Ultron Mark 1 or Ultron Prime that began the game on your force. Based on the result, place in your starting area. On a 3-4, place number 7 Ultron Sentry on its starting line. On a 5, place Ultron Mark 1 on its yellow starting line. And on a 6, place... Sorry, I'm looking at something. On a 6, place Ultron Mark 1 on its blue starting line. Now, Ultron... If you're able to bring in with the Ultron Sentry an Ultron Mark 1, that's a huge upgrade. That's from 40 points all the way up to a 120 point figure. That's the dice rolls are with you. If you go to the yellow starting line, that's a 65 point piece. That's still a pretty good upgrade. You're not losing out with the roll. And if you don't, if by chance you just like, oh, I rolled a 2, yeah, it sort of sucks. So 1 or 2 sucks for you, but you have a 2 out of 3 chance to get another Ultron Sentry or something better. So I really don't see a problem with this. This is probably a nice figure for you to have. 40 points for enhancement, flight, indomitable, psychic blast, Can you do better on support? Yes, but as a little secondary tier attacker support guy, this is pretty good. Then you get combined efforts, modify sentries attack values by +1 for each adjacent friendly character named ULTRON Sentry. Modify ULTRON Sentry's damage value by +1 for each 2 adjacent friendly characters named ULTRON Sentry. So they do have a benefit for being played in swarms, but do I really see like, oh, have a whole bunch of them? They're going to be awesome. Maybe in a 600 or 700 point game, I can definitely see the value of that. Then consistent programming. When using the carry ability, ULTRON Sentry may carry any number of adjacent friendly characters named ULTRON Sentry regardless of their combat symbols. Never mind, this really helps them out. Definitely with all the enhancement. It's just their range that needs to be modified a little bit. Special attack power. There's no end in sight once per turn for all characters with this power. Give ULTRON Sentry a double power action. Place number 7 ULTRON Sentry from outside the game in an adjacent square on click number 3. So it's on the last click, but you get to roll regen. So for all. So you can increase your ULTRON Sentry swarm pretty quickly. Really quickly. I think that this might be, I'm going to say something, and I really hope that this isn't how I think it is. Okay? Bear with me. If you ran Blind Owl, Judo flipped him, he's on click 2, double power action on turn 1, summon in another ULTRON Sentry on click 3, that Sentry could roll for regen. And that Sentry could roll for regen. Let's just say you roll a 3, so you heal 1 or something. Okay. The next turn, it could double power action, not take any pushing damage, and summon in another Sentry. You could just pretty much just spam sentries into your into the game. And with the White Lantern power battery, you could just heal them up really easily. Now, no, like they're going to be like one shot and like boom, like nobody's business. But if you're able to find a way to manipulate that, you've got a award-winning team. You really do have an award-winning team. So ULTRON Sentry ho. So anyway, that can't be right. Once per turn. It's not even once per game. If it was once per game, I could understand that. Anyway, let's go on to 300 Point Hulk and how he's there to ruin your day. It's a Hulk dial. It's a long Hulk dial. 300, 200, 100. All of them are pretty good. At 300 point, you're definitely playing it in like a 600 or 700 point game. The 200, I can definitely see it being played in a 400 point game. The 100 point, he's not bad either. Like, oh no, is that 100 points or is it 150? I think it's no, never mind. I was wrong. I thought it was, well, I did my numbers wrong. 300, 250, and 200. There we go. That's what it is. 200, not so much feeling that. Your attack values start off too low. 250, definitely viable. Probably a better starting point. You can put in some support. 300, again, you stick with what I said. Anyway, he starts off with the traits Avengers Assemble. When Hulk hits one or more characters with an attack and action resolve, the opponent chooses, deal 1 unavoidable damage and give it an action token or put an anchor token on this card. Oh, that neither is good for you. But the anger token I do know is the anger token can be the worst of the two options for you to pick. Fueled by anger, Hulk can use colossal stamina when he has 2 action tokens and is given a non-free action. You may remove any number of anger tokens from this card and roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled. Increase the result by 1 for each token removed. On a result of 5 through 6, Hulk isn't dealt unavoidable damage from colossal stamina for this action. So yeah, he can charge, he can keep attacking or moving or whatever he's doing and not take damage. I mean, he's pretty much just a force. I really wish they didn't give him Avengers initiative, because he really doesn't need it unless he's throwing an object. That's the only reason why he would need Avengers initiative. Then fueled by anger, Hulk, no, never mind. Enormous green monster, Hulk can use Battle Fury, which means he has Battle Fury. Each time Hulk takes damage from an opponent's attack or one of his powers or combat abilities is countered, put an anger token on this card. And this is bad. So here's why this is bad. You get to his defensive power. His anger sustains him. When this click is revealed due to taking damage, stop turning the dial and remove all action tokens from Hulk. This power can't be ignored. I think it's the next one. He only leaves rubble. Hulk can use invincible and regeneration. This is the damage power. When he uses regeneration, you may remove any number of anger tokens from this card. If you do, the d6 roll can't be re-rolled, and you may increase the result by 1 for each token removed. So, yeah, do you want to hit the Hulk again? Yeah, okay. I think I might. Okay, you hit the Hulk. Boom. All right, now you've hit the Hulk. Now, I have a ton of anger. I'm on my stop click. It's my turn. I have 3 anger tokens. Oh, look. I rolled a 3. Guess how much I'm healing for? 4. So, it gets stupid. Because then it's like, oh, I had tokens on me? Yeah, I don't have tokens on me anymore. So, I mean, he's deep. He's deep. And considering that you're going to get these 2 stop clicks, that adds to his sustainability. So probably one of the main characters that you want to pick up just to have in your side collection. If you didn't get the last Hulk, this Hulk is definitely one to get. Now we get to some more broken stuff. Hello, Hawkeye. I'm your friend. Avengers assemble when Hawkeye hits one or more characters with an attack the opposing player chooses. Hit characters are each dealt 1 unavoidable damage after actions resolved, or Hawkeye isn't given an action token for this action. Yeah, that one. That one is sort of you're darn if you do, if you're darn you don't. He's just gonna, if you don't give him an action token, he just repeats it. This is a prime candidate for hammers, just to make sure you like rub it in. Like, yep, you're gonna take that extra damage. Giving him some enhancement is sort of like a no-brainer, but it's going to be required. Next up is Vantage Point. When making a ranged combat attack, modify Hawkeye's attack value by +1 for each target of the attack. When he hits 3 characters, he may give 1 hit character an action token if he doesn't assign that character any damage. So he can sort of lock somebody down as well and be like, oh, yeah, you already have a token. I'm going to hit you. Boom. I'm not going to do damage to you because you have mystics, but you will take that pushing damage. And bam, there you go. So actually, no, he doesn't even need a hammer. If he's able to get a hold of 3 guys, it's going to have a 13. Now, I'm looking at that again. Having 1 perplex on this team would be necessary. So there are some other options that you could start looking at with him that might be a little bit more viable, such as, playing the power battery or Ophidian or something on there to give him energy explosion, but that's about it. Then he has the movement power rooftop maneuver. Hawkeye can use sidestep in stealth. When he uses sidestep, he can use improved movement, ignores elevated terrain. So that's pretty cool, considering that he would already ignore hindering because of Avengers Initiative, and then add on the fact that he can just running shot up to elevated and bam, be in a good position. Definitely a character that you're going to have a high chance of seeing out there in the meta. Next up is Scarlet Witch. You have Uncaging the Beast. Gives Scarlet Witch a free action when she has 2 action tokens, and choose a friendly character within range and line of fire. Modify the chosen character's combat values by +1 until the end of the turn, and at the end of the turn, deal Scarlet Witch 1 unavoidable damage and don't clear her action tokens. If the chosen character's name is Hulk, you may modify the chosen character's combat values by +2 instead. Also notice, just look, she's 55 points. She's 55 points. She's sort of designed to be played with like a 200-point Hulk. But she can't be played with a 250-point Hulk, of course. I really sort of wish she was 50 points, because she would literally be the best thing for Hulk. Really, she's the best thing for any Hulk to play her with. So getting a Scarlet Witch is a nice little bonus. The Perplex is great as well. And the cool thing is, if you do the double power action on the first 2 clicks, she won't take pushing damage. So that's a nice little advantage as well. Oh no, never mind. It's not double power action. It's when she has 2 action tokens. I can see that little ability just getting OP really fast. Definitely considering that you can stack her. Yeah, just +1 stats, just bam, like that. So yeah, there could be some problems in the future with that little with Scarlet Witch. So definitely pick her up. Next up is Vision. Just a flat 100 points for steady stats. It's not bad, it's not great. It's just what it is. Book of the Skull, yeah, that's about it. That's really all you can do with him. You can't really do too much else. He just sort of floats around. He just floats around. Then you have ULTRON Mark 13. ULTRON Mark 13. Let's look at it. Hidden programming. Once per game, when a friendly character named ULTRON Mark 1 is KO'd. I said Mark 13, Mark 1. Sorry. Is KO'd by an opposing character, you may roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled. Increase the result by 1 for each character named ULTRON Mark 1 or ULTRON Prime that began the game on your force. Based on the results, place in your starting area 4 through 5 ULTRON Mark 1 on his yellow starting line. So you get a weakened ULTRON Mark 1. Number 6, place either ULTRON Mark 1 or ULTRON Prime on its blue starting line. So, real quick for comparison, ULTRON Prime on its blue starting line is 125 points. ULTRON Mark 1 is 120 points. You're gaining 5 points, but the ULTRON Prime is a chase, and it has chase stats, so that's just something to think about. Okay, so you have targeting computer adjustment. When ULTRON Mark 1 makes an attack and misses, place a tracking token on the character's card. ULTRON Mark 1 increases his attack value by +1 for each tracking token on his card, on its target's card. When ULTRON Mark 1 makes an attack and hits, remove all tracking tokens from the target's card. So it does allow you to boost your attack, but it also means boosting your attack while missing, which is a lot of liabilities. So this ability is not as good as it seems. Strength in numbers, modify Ultron Mark 1's damage value by +1 for each adjacent friendly character with Ultron in its name. Now, this could get seriously fun if and only if you are able to have the Ultron drones on that first click with enhancement. So technically, you could, with one Ultron drone, get your attack. I mean, your damage up by 2. So that could be really cool. So it's a trade-off. It's a very big trade-off. But I can see having an Ultron Mark 1 if you're going to play a lot of Swarm Ultrons, Sentries. But if not, you probably want to pass at 120. At the lower point value, coming in at 65 points, it's not bad, but it's not great. Sidestep 6 range, 9 attack. It's not bad, but it's not great, and you don't get any traits. All right, next up is Black Widow. I think Black Widow is Target exclusive. This Black Widow is awesome. Avengers Assemble. When Black Widow hits one or more characters with an attack and action resolve the opposing player chooses, opposing characters can't attack Black Widow until your next turn, or opposing characters can't ignore pushing damage until your next turn. That's quite a quagmire to be in. And here's the other thing that some people might overlook. It just says you cannot attack Black Widow. We need to find out if you have multiple characters named Black Widow on your team, would that also count for them? Because then technically you couldn't hit, if you had a team of Black Widows and all they did was just, roll off and hit, your opponent technically couldn't attack you back. So, I mean, again, this is a hypothetical. So, if I'm wrong, just let me know. Anyway, that's her trait. Let's go into her damage power. Widow Sting. When Black Widow hits with a ranged combat attack, after actions resolve, roll a d6. On a 4 through 6, Black Widow can use Incapacitate twice, each as a free action, but only to target a hit character. So it allows you a 50% chance for a complete lockdown on a character, which is really strong. Definitely considering there's still a lot of mystics in the game. Stealth, Avengers Initiative. The 4 range is a problem, but again, there's ways of getting around the 4 range. I want there to be more here, and I want there to be a little bit more variety when it comes to your options than just slap an entity or a hammer on it. I just don't see it right now. So I would definitely say this is a pickup. Next up is Quicksilver. Quicksilver makes me a little sad. He has Force Blast and Hypersonic Speed. With his movement power, he is able to use Flurry and Force Blast, which I don't really like that. Quicksilver can use Probability Control, but only to reroll his own rolls. That's his 3rd special power. And he doesn't hit hard enough, and he doesn't really do enough to be worth most people's time. I really think the best thing that can happen with him is, I really say, if you just don't play him at all. Oh, man. Okay, on to Nick Fury. Nick Fury, 45 points. Great. He has his trait, I Still Believe in Heroes. If Nick Fury is part of an Avengers theme team and has the lowest point value and has the lowest point value character on your, that it should be in, is the lowest point value character. I don't know how he can have something if he's on the field on your starting anyway, is a starting character on your force. He can use leadership and outwit. When he uses leadership, he is considered 300 points. So this guy can fuel, straight rocket fuel, napalm level fuel your weapons of Avengers destruction. Mainly a Hulk. And he also has the special power, I recognize the council has made a decision. When an opposing character makes a choice from Avengers Assemble trait, you may roll a d6 on a result of 5 or 6, change the effect to the other option. Yeah. Definitely he's going to scale infinitely up on a Avengers initiative team, on an Avengers team. Like, he is the man. Like, straight up the man. Would I say running 2 of them is overpowered? No. A little bit of overkill, maybe, depending on what you're running. But if you're running like Avengers Prime and him, oh gosh, there's some stuff you can do. So definitely pick up Nick Fury at a target near you. Then there's Baron Strucker. He has stealth, special power. We learned so much from them. Give Baron Strucker a power action. If there are less than 4 friendly characters with the test subject keyword on the map, this doesn't make any sense. Anyway, when you do, whiz kids, just stop making stupid sentences. When you do, place a friendly test subject figure from outside the game onto the map within 6 squares. And that's not really that great. Going on to the trait, their sacrifice ensures our future. When a friendly character with a test subject keyword is KO, put an evolution token on Baron Strucker's card. Modify Baron Strucker's combat values by +1 for every 2 evolution tokens on his card. So for you to get +1 all stats, you're going to have to lose 60 points. Or is that 80? Test subject. So 60 points. Yeah, 60 points. I was right. That's not worth it. That's not worth it at all. Now, you might say it's inevitable or whatever else, but it's not worth it. And you can say, oh, I mastermind fodder onto it. It's like, it's really not worth it. Even if you put the Infinity Gauntlet on Baron Strucker and you got the Godhood and you're +3 all stats, it's still not worth it. Hulkbuster. Hulkbuster charge. Then he has, actually, let me just go to the special powers. To his traits. Avengers Assemble once per turn when Hulkbuster hits 1 or more characters with a close combat attack. So at least they're sort of realizing, like, he can quake. The opposing character chooses modify Hulkbuster's defense by +2 until your next turn. Or Hulkbuster may make a close combat attack as a free action against a hit target, modifying his attack value by -2 for the attack. So it's not bad. It's not bad. Now again, friendly mind control, that could have some shenanigans there, but starting off with a 19D and getting 2 more defense, that can be game changing. Definitely if you're starting on the 300 points. Now, a 300 point Hulkbuster versus a 300 point Hulk, I really see the favor in the Hulk, but yeah. Anyway, going into the second trait, designed to put you down, Bruce, at the beginning of the game for all characters with this trait. Choose an opposing character with Giant Colossal, a team team or wheel. I guess that's the. Gosh, what are they doing? Oh, team base or the vehicles. That character can't ignore pushing damage or have its combat values increased. So that's pretty good. That would allow you to lock down certain figures like Galactus or Shuma or whatever. I'm like, screw you, buddy. So that's pretty cool. And let me see, do you get that at lower points? No, you don't. So you have to play 300 points. Anyway, then you have targeting. Hold on, wait. Nope, I clicked on the wrong one. Okay, yeah, you do get it at lower points. Sorry. So then you get Knockout Punch. When making a close combat attack, you may decrease Hulkbuster's printed attack value by up to 3. If you do, increase Hulkbuster's printed damage up the same amount. If you do, both combat values can't be replaced or otherwise modified. So you're sort of staying with a locked value so that you can do more damage, which isn't bad, but it also sort of limits you in how you can approach. And you only have 2 clicks where you don't have this like haymaker sort of thing going. Then you have she is built to fight the big ones. Hulkbuster can use Invincible. When Hulkbuster is hit by an attack from a character with the giant, colossal, team base, or wheels vehicle symbol, modify that character's damage values by -1 for this attack. So if you start combining Hulkbuster with Hawkeye, like, you have some really good survival, like, for Hulkbuster. So I think that's one of the main characters that was designed to, combo with. So Hulkbuster coming in at 300 points is worth it. Again, you're playing him in like a 700 point game. Or the 225 version, I don't see it as a viable option. But it's not bad. If you get it, grats to you. Next up is Ultron Prime. Ultron Prime starts off at 250. He has a trait called Hidden Programming. It says once per game when Ultron Prime is KO'd, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled on a result of 5 through 6. Place this character in your starting area on its blue starting line. So it comes back just a little weaker. So, it's not bad. It's not great as the other ones, but it does sort of save you. It gives you a chance to rally. I'll say that much. Fodder for the machine. Ultron Prime can use Mastermind. When he does, friendly characters within 4 squares. Hold up just a second. I wonder if this Ultron is a replacement, and here's why I'm wondering this. Or any of these characters are replacements when you go up to the next guy. Because if you run a White Lantern power battery or something like that, could you then, if they're a new character and you assign a construct to them, would they technically be a new character that gets it so that they can get all the benefits of the stop clicker or not? That's a question. That's an interesting question. Anyway, fodder for the machine. Ultron Prime can use Mastermind. When he does, friendly characters within 4 squares with the robot keyword are considered adjacent. Not as great when you're in a meta full of Precision Strike. Really not that great of a power. Really, when I look at this now, I'm a bit more jaded. The running... I don't see it being worth it at 250, and at 125 it's barely worth it, and you have to put a hammer on it to get running shot. So he's a lot more limited than I really want him to be. There's still some goodness there, but he has some power combinations that just aren't that good. When you have Charge and Energy Explosion or Psychic Blast together, that just doesn't work out. and his in-dial special mastermind is not. If it was 3 years ago, would be game breaking. As it is now, it's not. So, you just sort of take it how it is. All right, now we've made it all the way through all that stuff. Let's get to the starter. Starter Iron Man, House Party Protocol, Running Shot, Energy Explosion, Invuln, Outwit, 11 attack, 4 damage. Awesome. House Party Protocol, once per game, give Iron Man Mark 43 a double power action that doesn't deal pushing damage. Place a friendly Iron Legion from outside the game in an adjacent square on its red starting line. That character is removed from the game once it takes damage, and your opponent scores no points when it is removed. So when you put it on the red starting line, that is the good, like really decent click starting line. Now this can be really strong because you can set your opponent up in multiple ways. You can use these as like little shields, like, oh well, you hit him, you're gonna, I take a double power action. You're going to have to, hit him. And then if you're running Star Sapphire battery, I could see how that could get real annoying. It's just like, oh, I brought him in. Now you have to hit him, take mystic damage. Oh, score no points, protected Iron Man. Now, all right, great. This is the best. So I can see some advantages with that. Then let's see. Sometimes you have to run before you can walk. Iron Man Mark 43 can use Running Shot. When he does, his speed value isn't halved from this power. So he has super Running Shot. So that's pretty good. But his attack values and his damage values aren't as good. Useful. Very useful. Then you have Ultimate Shield Toss Captain America, which he has Shield Toss. When Captain America makes a close combat attack, all squares within 6 squares and line of fire are considered adjacent. So he's able to, make a close combat attack with within 6 squares and a line of fire are considered adjacent. So he's probably one, if you gave him Greyhoss Hammer, it would be beneficial. He can hit more people. Then he has Heart of the Avengers. Captain America can use leadership. He can use it normally or as a power action. If he uses it as a power action and succeeds, he may remove an action token from a friendly character with the Avengers keyword within 6 squares. So, that's pretty cool too. Next is Thor, coming in at 150. He has he pretty much has charge and quake, and then he just can move his full movement in quake. So that's not bad, but with the bringing the hammer down, but it's not the greatest either. Then you have the Might of Mjolnir. When Thor makes an attack, you may choose that the attack generates knockback, which this is actually really strong because the amount of damage that he's dealing, you don't have to worry about doubles. And not only that, when you go in for a charge or just a standard attack and the other opposing figure does not have charge or combat reflexes, you could just be like, oh, I charged, I hit you for 4, now I'm going to knock you back and you're going to take 2. He is probably the best one to play with the impact beam, so then you could full move charge, get in the middle of your opponent, quake, burn your ring, get the impact beam on there. Get the impact beam on him, burn a ring, go full move, charge, quake, do 2 damage, knock back everybody into a wall, and make them take 2 more damage. That would be great. That would actually be epic. So you would technically just do 4 damage to several characters at once, and they're really going to be crippled. So, yeah, that's going to be stupid. All right. What's else? What's next? Okay, sorry. At 150, he's pretty good, and even at 100 points, he's not bad. Again, it's all about that setup for that quake. I really do believe is that setup for that Quake is what's going to push him over. So I don't want to say like, oh yeah, I invented this tech. I'm not. But this, him with the power plant, I'm not going to say it's game over or GG or whatever else, but that could potentially be really strong. How strong? I don't know. Maybe you just need to play test and find out. Okay. Click 4. Yeah. Oh gosh. There's some other shenanigans there too, but I'm not going to spoil them all. Anyway, let's go on to Hulk. Probably the second best Hulk you can play if you can't get onto if you can't get the other Hulk. He have enormous green rage monster. Hulk can use battle fury and super strength. When Hulk is the target of an attack, place a rage token on his card. Give Hulk a free action, choose a combat value, and remove a rage token. So he can pretty much perplex himself. Increase the chosen combat value by +1 for each token removed until your next turn. If the chosen combat value is damaged, instead increase it by 1 for every 2 tokens. They really want you to be object focused, but still, if you're picking up ultra heavies, so you really shouldn't be increasing your damage too often. Hulk Smash is his movement power. Hulk can use charge. When he does, his speed value isn't halved from the use of this power. So he has a full 8 move charge, which is pretty cool. Raging Out. Hulk can use Impervious and improve movement. Ignores blocking terrain and destroys blocking terrain as the character moves through it. After rolling for Impervious, remove a rage token from for each click of damage that Hulk would take. If Hulk takes more damage than the number of rage tokens on his card. Oh no, that's the Raging Out. That's when he transforms. That's the other one. Yeah, he would be KO'd, but and this can't be countered or ignored. Let me see. His damage power is you're making Hulk angry. When turning the dial, if this click is revealed due to damage taken from an opponent's attack, stop turning the dial. Roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled on a 1 through 2. Turn the dial to click number 11, which is his weirdo I'm insane click. On a 3 through 4, stay on the click. On 5 through 6, choose 1. This could be interesting. Yeah, this can be interesting. So I can see a situation where people will play this and try to just put like some sort of regen on him, and probably with the Star Sapphire ring, and just be like, all right, you attack me, boom, I'm gonna keep building this up and building this up and building up rage tokens, and I'm gonna keep regenning until I get a significant amount of rage tokens. I don't know what the max would be, but this is an interesting one. I'm interested to see how people would build around this Hulk. All right, let's go on because we're almost done. Black Widow, sidestep, precision strike, 17d3 damage. You're not going to stop me. Improve target, ignore his characters. Just like Budapest all over again. Black Widow can use charge when Black Widow is adjacent to a friendly character named Hawkeye. They both modify their defense values by +1 if not already modified by this effect, which is useful for other Hawkeyes. Eskrima sticks and Widow stings. Widow can use incapacitate and quake. Not as good as precision strike up front, but okay. The Deadly Widow, Black Widow can use close combat expert. When she has no action tokens, she may either activate it as a close combat action or she may modify her attack values by an additional +1 when using it. I like the modify it as an additional +1. That sounds a lot more useful. So, I mean, it's not bad. Overall, it's not a bad dial. A lot of high attack, very low defense. She's out in the open in the beginning, so it can be rough. And with her low range, it definitely can be rough. But not necessarily the best Black Widow. I think the one that you get from the mass market exclusive is way better. Then you have Hawkeye, which is his improved targeting ignores characters. Then he has you and I remember Budapest very differently. Hawkeye can use running shot, so he has permanent running shot, which is pretty cool. Anyway, when Hawkeye is adjacent to a friendly character named Black Widow, they both modify their attack values by +1, if not already modified by this effect. So there's another sort of cool bonus, so they can get their attack and their defense up. Definitely for Hawkeye to get a 12 up front, and the same thing with Black Widow. Getting a 12 up front could be useful, but it's more useful for Hawkeye having that 12 up front. His enhancement in Psychic Blast is nice, but still you're better off with the other Hawkeye. Anyway, you got explosive arrows. Hawkeye can use energy explosion and improve targeting, ignores blocking terrain. When a ranged combat attack resolves, any blocking terrain along its line of fire to the target is destroyed. Now, I know a lot of people are looking at that 135 point green arrow and just sort of saying like, hey, this guy is pretty strong. And I think he won a rock. And I would agree that green arrow is pretty strong. If you can't get your hands on that green arrow, this is a good substitute, but not. Like, that green arrow is able to crank out a lot more damage output than this one. But again, the point difference is massive. So that is something to think about as well. But you do have access to energy explosion when you're doing this. So that's another sort of cool feature that you can have access to. I will point out, you have to ask yourself, do you want to run Hawkeye or Yondu? And I would almost be tempted to say between Hawkeye and Yondu for the points, Yondu is a little bit better. Yondu has less options to build around him than Hawkeye. I'll say Black Eye than Hawkeye, but yeah, you have some interesting stuff. Anyway, the Deadly Hawk is his damage power is he can use ranged combat expert. When he has no action tokens, he may either activate it as a ranged combat action, or he may modify his attack value by an additional +1 when using it. Again, pretty cool stuff. Very nice damage output that he potentially can do, but I still have some concerns. I think he's not the first character to run a shot RCE, but I know he won't be the last. Overall, really interesting set of figures. So let me just tell you the buy list, and of course, like all buy lists, will be on the blog for you to just check out. First off is number 3, Captain America. Probably the best Captain America that we're probably going to get. Then there's the Ultron Sentry. Then number 9, Hawkeye. Number 10, Scarlet Witch. Then Black Widow. Number 13, Nick Fury. Number 15, Hulkbuster. And the starter Thor. I'm not saying or discrediting like either the Hulks in the set. I do think they're just higher point game characters, and they need something to be built around to make them more stupid than what they are. That's how I sort of look at them. They can be insane for a cost. The question is, are you willing to pay that cost? That's it. So anyway, I look at all the options that we have here. We have a lot to consider, definitely going into nationals, U.S. nationals, and we have also a lot to consider going into world championships. So definitely something to think about. All right, that's it for today's show. Let me know what you think about this set. Is it worth your money? Is it not worth your money? Yeah, that's what I want to know. All right. Like always, you can follow me on Twitter. It came from outer space and told me, man, rebuilding is necessary. You can find my random musings on Twitter. Whenever I get an HCO code, I throw it on there. Or save it for the show. But the way it seems, HCO is sort of dead. But you know. Yeah. Also, between this show and next show, tell me what your thoughts on Nationals. Was it a good tournament? Was it not a good tournament? Then you can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. Thanks for everybody who emailed me this last week. I really appreciate those emails. Next up, last but not least, you can check out the blog, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. If you want to hire me to coach for you or help mentor you or point you in the right direction, you can hit the donate button on there, and everything goes towards making this show better. Or if you just want to donate to the show, like I said, it goes to making the show better. I think my next sort of few steps is I'm still working on the shirts. I know it's silly long, but between everything that's in transition and trying to talk with other people, just it's been rough. Yeah, never mind. I'm just running out of steam. Sort of tired after work. So yeah, let me know how the show's going in the next couple of weeks. If it just seems like I'm too much out of steam, or if I need some more energy, or what, because it's going to probably determine when I try to record or the state in which I record, because most of the time I was recording either after I got off of work late at night, sort of knowing that I had like a good chunk of time between going back to work and getting off of work, or it was during a day that I was off in the middle of the week, and so those things aren't there anymore. So so just let me know. All right, that's it. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for hanging in there and sticking with the show. And remember, we all have to start over sometime.